Hello, everybody. Welcome to 5 Minutes with Brian. I'm your host, Brian the writer. I haven't done one of these in a while, so I figured I'd get a little bit caught up. I even made a drink for this. Okay, yeah, I'm going to be doing a 5 minutes with drunk Brian fairly soon. Not now though, because this is not going to get me drunk, and just a little drink, just a little bit. It's been a long day, long day. I want to make up for it. So today's show, I want to talk a little bit about three, and this is going to be a little controversial. I don't mean to offend anybody. If you're easily offended, please look away. Look away. You have my permission. Because what I'm going to talk about is the the things that people tell me at cons that I know are lies, but I just smile my way through it. These are mostly the readers that come up to the booth, the customers, potential customers. Um, this is not to say that everybody does this kind of thing. And most, there's a lot of people that don't, but there are some people that do this. Um, there are, I'm not going to say they're annoying, but they can be very disheartening sometimes when you're there, you're trying to sell your books. But I should probably run through a little bit of con etiquette real quickly. If you're a customer, um, go up to a table. Certainly look at their wares, look at their books, see what they've got. But also be very mindful of their time, because one of the things I've noticed, having done a bazillion cons at this point, there are people who will come up to your table and they will talk to you and they will not move. They will stand there and talk and talk and talk. A lot of times the conversation goes absolutely nowhere. But the problem is you're standing in front of people who are trying to look at the books. So, kind of hurting the saleability of the books, if you will. Anyway, that aside, um, another thing you don't want to do, don't do this. This has happened to me recently. It was kind of funny. Don't tell me you're done buying books for the day and then buy a book from the next guy you've gone down. You don't have to buy a book from me. There's no rule. Um, I think being open and honest with the person you're talking to is sort of step one of being a kind and decent human being. Lying to me and then moving on to where I can see, I mean, it kind of hurts a little bit. It's, hey, if my stuff's not your jam, my stuff's not your jam. Look, the reality is that in any given year, a ton of new books are written. A ton. Um, a title by Brian Nowak may not be your jam. It may not. It may not be the thing you're looking for right at that period in time. I am not going to be hurt by the fact that you just said, I don't see anything here that's really tripping my trigger today, but, thank you for the opportunity to look through your stuff. I am perfectly okay with that. That makes me happy because at least you stopped and looked. And I'll say that, well, thank you for stopping and looking anyway. I really appreciate it. And I mean that. I'm so glad you took the time. And who knows, maybe a day, a week, a month from now, you're going to wake up and suddenly realize, wait a minute, I did actually want to read that vampire book that Brian Nowak had. And you might go through your pile of business cards and find mine and go, oh, okay, here he is online. I'll buy one. That's perfectly fine. No problem with that. So, without further ado, let's talk about the uh, top five or top three things that I've noticed at cons that are a little annoying, because I know they're not true and I know you're lying to me. A lot of people think they're being clever. They're not. Okay, the first one. Oh, this is a fantastic book. I love it. I'll tell you what, I'll be back around my next loop and buy this. I know you're lying to me. I know you're lying to me. Actually, you possibly, there's a possibility that you're not lying to me, but like 99% of the time, you're never coming back. I know that's true. You don't really have to make excuses for leaving the table. It's okay. It's like I said earlier. If you're just like, man, this doesn't really trip my trigger and you move on, that's fine. Um, People will say things like, let me think about it. Now, that's actually not bad. Some people want to take a walk around the room. I've actually had people come back to me that I talked to on Friday they come back to me on Sunday and say, "Hey, Brian, that book that you told me about vampires, I'm here to get it." That has happened to me, but again, it's not necessarily a matter of you stroking our egos there at cons and shows like that. You don't have to do that. So the next one that kind of drives me a little crazy because there's absolutely no reason for this. It's like telling a lie for no other reason than just to tell a lie. I'm going to take your card and I'll buy it when I get home. Why wouldn't you buy it standing there and get the author's signature? Wouldn't that make a lot more sense? I don't know. I have had people in the past, by the way, turn around and say, "Well, I'm going to buy a Kindle version of such and such a book," and literally they bought it right there. Recently, I was at a show and I saw something I thought was brilliant. Somebody actually made a sign, and it had the little scan codes for buying the ebook versions of their stuff. I thought that was kind of a brilliant idea. I may have to play with that a little bit. Maybe make one up myself and say, "Oh, really? Well, here you go. Buy it right now." It's just something we can do. Anyway, listen, I love it when people come to my table. I love it when people talk to me. I've often said that if I'm not talking to people at a show or a con, it's just me sitting there wordlessly staring, staring, staring. And I think we can all agree that's really creepy. So, uh, by all means, stop by, talk to me. Not a problem. If I don't have what you want, no problem. Chances are very good. Or, better yet, if you tell me what you're looking for, if I don't sell it, it's a very good chance I actually know a few other authors that are there at the show who sells something similar. So, anyway, this has been probably a little bit more than 5 minutes with Brian. I want to thank you for joining me. This is Brian the Writer. Have a great day.